Welcome everyone to round 4 of the league. We're here at the Nürburgring GP circuit track for qualifying. I'm joined by my co-commentator Toasty. Toasty, how are you doing today?
Yeah, doing good. Gonna watch these guys tear through the forest here and around the Nordschleife in a bit, but for now on the EP track for qualifying, and they'll be on the very long 24-hour layout for the 7-lap race, I think it is.
Yeah, it's the Nürburgring 24-hour track is quite possibly one of the most challenging tracks just in existence in general. It's almost like, I think this week in particular in this race, I think will be kind of like a race of attrition. It's going to be not who can maximize, the pace in every single corner. It's mostly like who will come out with the least amount of mistakes, I think will end up being the winner for both divisions this week.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's a challenge for sure. Getting around the 12 and a bit miles, I think, of track every lap. So looking at about 8.5 minutes or so to get around there, but we'll see what the drivers can do around this shorter, modern version of the track here for racing cars.
I love the comments in the chat. We're all going to die, but at least it'll be fun to watch. May they sacrifice their blood to the oak trees later. Yeah, also known as the Green Hell. I think it's notoriously known for being an incredibly difficult track, and I wish everyone in D2 and D1 the best of luck. So Toasty, I wish you the best of luck when you start your D1 race after D2 ends. What would you say is?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of this track?
For me, I was in a lobby practicing with ads a bit earlier today, and for both me and him, there's one corner in the third sector of the track around the Nordschleife portion where we just feel like we can take faster than we can and always end up at least partially in the grass. So that's the corner for me to watch out for, and it's a lot like some of the other corners in the Nordschleife portion where a lot of them just look similar to each other, so requires full focus and a bit more.
DJ Mickle says Toasty doesn't need luck, he is a machine. Sometimes we all need a little bit of luck.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're going to be qualifying for 10 minutes, 15 minutes? I think it's 15 minutes. Dinosaur opens us up with the first completed lap and sets a time of 1:58.684. Currently the time to beat. Soul Shock crosses the line with a 1:59.8, but quickly drops down to 4th position as Luke Fubar and Kip Dunkel cross the line in 2nd and 3rd respectively. So interesting tidbit about the current Viper team, Azul Racing. They initially were Azul Racing Audi, but they made a manufacturer's switch halfway through the season, so they are now Dodge, Azul Racing Dodge.
Yeah, it's a good time of the season to do it. Stuck with it for the first 3 rounds and tried to make that car work, but ultimately couldn't find the consistency or the pace with it. So yeah, props to them for trying it for a while and trying to get to that car to work. But switching to the opposite format here, front engine, very front biased car, so it'll be different for sure. Whether it's the right car, yeah, we'll have to see.
So Cecil Turtle sets a purple sector time for Sector 1. I believe that's sector 1, or maybe it's sector 2. Cecil Turtle has been doing pretty well, I think, this season so far. I think he is currently, let me check the standings at the moment. The standings is something we should go over right now, or not right now, but before the race, but I've yet to like hook up OBS to like the spreadsheet, so we can kind of go over them via audio.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Division 2 standings. Yeah, so Cecil Turtle is currently in 4th place in the current Drivers' Championship standings for D2. I guess we could just go over them now. So D-Slov right now is in 1st place for the D2 standings. D-Slov of Hoonigan Honeys Racing BMW. Hoonigan Honeys in general doing a really, really great job this season. Woke Grizzle is in 2nd place with 43 points. That's 14 points behind D-Slov, so D-Slov's got quite a lead in the standings so far. And then we got Dinosaur in 3rd place with 40 points. Cecil Turtle is in 4th. Then we got Kip Dunkel, who is, I think it was Cecil's former teammate from season 4, in 5th place, only 4 points behind Cecil Turtle. Then we got Motsky in 6th, Kilopro's in 7th, Lurkin Lou in 8th, Little Jacob in 9th, Soulshot VR in 10th place. We got Show Me in 11th. Luke Fubar is technically 12th place, but he's also a reserve driver, so he has no team affiliation, but he will be driving for Hoonigan Honeys Racing today. Lamb King in 13th. We got Ollie Bolly right now in pole position, provisional pole position. I think Ollie Bolly is racing for the team
Maple.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Team
Like
Maple, right?
Porsche. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the longer names.
The official name is Mystic Maple. Sorry, Mystic Maple Porsche Racing A. Question mark.
There we go. I knew there was something at the end. That's important right there. Yeah. So Ollie in pole in the number 77 green Rexy Racing car, and then Dinosaur 4 and a bit tenths behind in the number 19 green Rexy Racing car. Those two are going to be ones to watch out for. Dinosaur, of course, winning the 1st and 3rd round, missing the 2nd round, of course, but
yeah, otherwise Dinosaur would have been likely in the 2nd or top position in the Drivers' Championship standings. Missing a week does such a hit to your championship standings. It's kind of almost, I mean, if someone drives, is like in the contention for the top 5 and they don't miss a week and everyone else does, that can automatically put them in 1st or 2nd, so it's a huge deal.
Yep.
I was thinking it would be cool if maybe like in the next season we could do something along the lines of having like the car be what's in the championship and not the driver. And so like if you have like multiple drivers that can't commit to a full season, the car is what the is like, you know, in the ranking, and it's not the drivers themselves.
Oh yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a short season comparatively to most leagues or real racing seasons. 6 races, so having just a complete drop week in there always feels a bit extreme. So
yeah,
that would be a good way of doing it.
Yeah, another option is we could potentially remove the lowest score for the championship standings as well. But I typically don't like to remove like a week for, you know, like a championship standings. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's one thing if it's a bad race and they were there, or if they couldn't make it, it's a different situation. But anyhow, so DS Love looks like he's improved to third place and is on his last lap now. So last corner here for him. Driver who placed second place in round 1 and 3, but with the fastest lap both times. Doesn't improve this time, but still remaining in third place. And I think the only other driver across the line here is Show Me.
Yep. Show Me also didn't improve. So looks like our order is set. Ollie Bali takes pole position with a 157.775. Almost a half second ahead of Dinosaur. Ollie again. Okay, so it's a front row for Mystic Maple for
Yeah.
the Nordschleife portion of the round for Division 2. D-Slub and Luke Fubar. We got the Hoonigan Honeys Racing taking up row 2. That's going to be exciting.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be like a team battle for the first couple of corners.
Well, Grizzle in 5th place. I was talking to them a bit earlier today, and they seem pretty close on pace. So his teammate Lou down in 12th will kind of be disappointed by that result for qualifying, knowing he has more pace in that car. But like we were saying before, this race definitely more of a race of attrition,
Yeah.
probably.
And Lamb Cake with a 6th place placing on the
Very
third row
nice.
there for Benefactor Racing AMG. We got Kip Dunkel in 7th place. Starting in 7th, I should say. Little Jacob from Team.com starting 8th place. I know there's a lot of love for Jacob in chat. Cecil Turtle starting in 9th for Benefactor AMG. We got Soul Shock VR and Bishop for Azul Racing Dodge, starting 10th and 11th. And then Bishop will be starting next to Lou. The other, I believe it's the Full Throttle Fajitas car, the Toyota. And then in the final row, we have Show Me and Backmarker Racing. So Backmarker Racing is part of our Academy League, and he's made the step up to Division 2 to fill in for Team.com. Going to be an interesting debut for Backmarker Racing. We'll see if the Academy has helped him
Yeah.
in terms of pace, but then again, like the Nordschleife is a tough track, so this might be a tough debut, and can't make any judgments based off of that, to be honest. I would hate for this track to be a debut for me.
I know. I've done this before. How do I enter full screen? Ah, here we go. Got it. They needed the spot for race director.
I see. Who's going to be race director?
Looks like ads. So,
I see.
yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, shout out to ads for volunteering to race direct.
Yeah, did we end up clearing up the VSC rules that would happen if
Oh, right.
yeah.
So, yeah, because of the length of this track, not very it's it's kind of difficult, but um VSC is basically they call GG, and then the VSC will start at the back straight. So the leader will become the safety car at the beginning of the back straight, if that makes sense.
Yep, that makes a ton of sense.
It's green flag until then. It's kind of just like a planned safety car.
Yep. And then I would assume everyone goes who takes a pit if they need a pit stop, and then we start immediately after once everyone's grouped up again.
Yes. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a live restart. So race director being ads will call go 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 or green 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 whichever, and they'll go from there.
All right.
Which
Yeah,
yeah, hopefully
it's
that'll be on the GP portion of the track because it's a bit easier to deal with
yeah,
a
for
lot of
sure.
cars bunched together.
Yeah, it's funny that I wonder how many laps we're gonna see under safety car because it's gonna be kind of like I guess here's a question though. If a safety car VSE is called,
Hmm.
can you pass until you get to the straight?
Yeah, it's green flag until
Okay,
then.
okay, okay, okay. I see,
At
I see.
least that's been my understanding of it, but I'll I'll ask that question when I get into
Yeah.
the D1
I mean that would
lobby.
make sense. Like I think it would be kind
Yeah.
of ridiculous to have like
Otherwise, you're just holding position at racing speed.
yeah. And if there's like a safety car every lap, then it's like, okay, like we're never gonna actually race.
Yeah.
So, do you have any idea of what strategies will look like for D2?
Um. So I'm thinking that all the drivers here are going to have to do at least one 3-lap stint on the mediums, and this being Division 2, they also have the softs required for one racing lap. And this round, since it's such a long track, an in lap or an out lap will count as a racing lap. So
Okay.
they won't have to try and do more than one lap on softs. That would be
That would be
impossible.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So yeah, what we're probably gonna see is lap one or a one lap hot lap basically on soft somewhere in the race, and then um 2 3 lap stints where they're gonna switch to a much more conservative driving for both fuel and tires.
Yeah,
All
that'd be
depends
pretty
on the
interesting.
weather though.
Oh yeah, the weather. I forgot about the weather. Um, I completely forgot about the weather. So, rain is possible here.
Yep,
Um, but we have set the starting conditions to be C8, I believe. That's a cloudy 8 setting.
C6 I think. Yeah.
C6, yeah. C6. Um, oh geez, I feel sorry, so sorry for anyone who. Okay, so here's the problem with rain on this track. It's just like there's no way to predict when you'll actually need it because like it's such a big track and it could just be pouring on one side of the track and it could be completely dry on the other.
Yep.
And the problem with this is just that when it's raining and it's wet enough on slicks, it's like literally impossible to get anywhere. Like it's just you have
Yeah.
to go at a crawling pace and it's yeah, you just have to be extremely careful, but you literally have to crawl if it's like rain anywhere past like that first tick mark in GT7 and you have slicks on and it's just
Yep.
it's it's like 1,000
Yeah,
times
and
harder to
then
keep it on the track.
because inters are not allowed as well, so it's either slicks or wets, extreme wets, and it's I mean, I guess with that part of it, it makes the strategy a bit more simple because you don't inters aren't in the equation, but then it's like, well, it's then like which half of the track do I crawl around on? Wet
Yeah, it's
tires because I don't want to burn them out, or dry tires because I'm
yeah,
on the wet
you don't want to
part.
die.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and then also like if you decide for instance to switch to wets before it starts raining, even though raining is coming, you might
Mhm.
burn them out entirely by the time the rain actually gets there.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's so tricky. I feel like maybe in my head right now, I'm thinking like the optimal case is just to keep going until it's basically like it's guaranteed rain like on more than half of the track. Then it's worth switching to wets. Otherwise, like I don't know, just
Yeah.
continue on slicks.
Yeah, and then another thing to think about here is we're on late morning start, 23 times time progression, so this race is going to go through the night as well. So
Mm,
if it rains during the night or just before the sun goes down, that wet track is going to stay wet in those portions for much longer because they're not going to be dried up by the sunlight. So
that's right.
there's a whole lot of factors here, apart from just um, you know, driving well.
Yeah. All I gotta say is that I'm glad I'm not participating. Yeah. And Ollie Ollie in the chat is saying that he has zero practice. So even though he qualified in pole position, good luck to Ollie.
Yeah, it might not mean very much to be starting in first in this race.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Um, he's currently listed right now starting 14th, so maybe he requested to start at the back of the grid for reducing the possibility of having incidents. So I don't know if he's actually going to
Or
start from 14th or not, but we'll see.
probably just entered with his car,
Yeah.
or put his setup in before entering, and then Dino didn't have him entered to switch to the grid. That's my guess.
Yeah. That's my guess too, but um we will see.
I would imagine that Dinosaur wouldn't allow that request.
Yeah,
He would
I
say, "No,
knowing
you
dinosaur,
qualified
yeah.
first. You're starting in the
Yeah,
first."
knowing dinosaur, that would exactly. Yeah, and there he goes.
There he
He's
goes. Yeah.
shot up to the top of the grid. So we got our front row start for our Mystic Maple team. We got the second row filled up by our Hoonigan Honeys Racing team.
Yep.
It's going to be a great open battle across the. I don't even know how many turns this track has, but it's a lot, and we're
It's
super excited.
over 150.
100, yeah,
This layout.
150 turns, yeah. All right, so Dinosaur has triggered the race start, so we'll get started in just a minute. We'll be
The
underway.
trick here is you're gonna have to remember as a driver the changes in the layout here, because if you don't, then that could cause you to drop straight to the back.
And it is dark out. It is extremely dark. I mean, we did start with the CO6 setting, so it's going to be dark, but we'll see if it clears up as soon as the race starts. And we got our green lights, and the action starts now. Ollie Bolly gets a good start. Dinosaur not too far behind. Everyone is just in order going in turn one. The Yokohama S, they will not be going around the entire, they will be going, no, it's not the entire Mercedes Arena portion. There's a little bit of a bump there with Ollie and Wagrizzle, but nothing too egregious. I think everyone else is doing pretty well. We got some side-by-side action. Kip Dunkel and Lamb King go side-by-side, and Cecil Turtle sneaks by, and then Soul Shock and Lamb King going side-by-side towards down the Dunlop hairpin.
Lamb King losing a few places there, I think, started sixth. So, probably just playing it conservative right now. He has those soft tires on. He might just be trying to keep those soft tires alive early on, try not to wear them out too much too fast. Because it is difficult to get these soft tires.
So Ollie Bolly is somehow already down to 12th place. I think. Oh, we got a little bit of a
sideways.
yeah. We got a little bit of a.
Able to reverse out of the way there to avoid any contact. Doesn't look like there were if anyone hit him afterwards. But
Yeah.
Oh, well done to stay on the brakes though. That would have been quite a big crash if he didn't hold the brakes and drifted downward. Oh, Luke into first place here onto the Nordschleife.
Yeah, that was quite a pass. That here I can set up the replay. I think that was a pass going into the Sabine Schmidt's turn there. Hold on, let me get. Yeah, there you go. They get a little bit of contact going through, but Luke Fubar takes the position.
Yeah, I think Dino just went a little wide on that long left off of the GP section of the track, and that gave Luke the opportunity there.
And Little Jacob is up into 4th place. I think he started, was it 8th? So, a lot of position skiing.
Where's the top of the bottom half of the field? I don't know. 8th sounds better.
And look at that D-Slub trying to get around Dinosaur. Dinosaur placing the car right in the dead center of the track. Oh, and he gets loose.
Ooh,
and there's some contact. Oh, man. I hope D-Slub didn't pick up any damage. No, D-Slub did not pick up any damage, thankfully. But Jacob jumps up into 2nd place. We were just talking about the positions gained by Jacob, and now he is in 2nd place, chasing down Luke Fubar, who's currently in 1st position already.
Yeah. One thing to think about here, we have multiple GGs in the chat, so we know there's going to be a VSC at the end of this lap when we get to the straight. But, whoa, Jacob, hold on to it there. But what I was getting at there is that this isn't going to count as a racing lap for the softs. So those drivers on the softs, since they have a VSC, I don't believe that lap is going to count for them, and they're going to have to switch up the strategy once again here.
Oh my goodness. So, if that's the case, then does that mean the optimal strategy for them is they have to pit basically at the end of the lap? They're gonna lose position, so they might as well go for another set of softs since everyone's gonna be bunched up again. Might give them an opportunity to do more. Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
Oh,
we got some
quite
absolute
the pile up.
Yeah, we got some absolute chaos going on here. I'm gonna catch that on replay while Grizzle drives through. Oh, and barely gets hit by, I think that was Kip Dunkel for trying to reverse out of the barrier. Let's take a look at that situation. Pull up the replay.
One of the Renaults was trying to force their way up the inside of miss hit miss.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's contact there. Dinosaur trying to save the car, and everyone else around this blind corner.
Yeah, let's take a look
having
at the.
No idea.
Let's take a look at the incidents through Solshock's point of view. You see, oh, and it's even like, oh my goodness, that was.
Yes, Solshock is seeing it and he's trying to slow down, but
yeah, and then you've got, yeah, you got Ollie right behind. Yep.
Yeah, unsighted, just trying to push Solshock along. Like, you can go faster through this corner, and Solshock's saying, no, I cannot.
So, I think we can look at this through, I think it was, yeah, see, this is Lou's point of view, and you just see all these cars piled up and just makes his way right through.
Cars everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how you avoid an incident right there. Slow right down, find a place to weave your car through, and because if you just try and race through there at racing speed, you're never gonna make it. But see, a lot of drivers do that sometimes. They just keep it pinned, but you'll lose a lot more time getting damaged than you would if you be careful.
Yeah, so it looks like little Jacob has picked up some damage on that front left. He got passed by Dieslove while we were reviewing those replays of the first sacrifice, I guess we should call it, to the oak trees of Nordschleife. So Ali Bali is currently in 4th place, but also was involved in that pileup, has damage to the front right. And then, yeah, Soul Shock was also involved in the incident. Lamb King, though, looks clean and is back up at the 6th place. So Lamb King taking the cautious approach, and it looks like it's working pretty well. I think he made his way past Wogrizzle. I think Wogrizzle was... No, sorry, Lou was one in front, but I think Wogrizzle has been behind Lamb King since the start, maybe.
Yeah, quite a lot of position swapped here. So Ali was starting pole, then down to 12th, now up to 3rd again. Bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't expect the positions to change so much, but I guess with the incidents, which I kind of did expect, it makes a lot of sense that there's going to be a lot of position changes. We got a yellow flag. Okay, looks like little Jacob was spun out at the mini carousel ahead of the long back straight, the Donninger Road.
Yeah, so here we should see Luke at the front here. Yeah, he's down to 60 miles an hour, so that is the beginning of the safety car. And the question is, not yet sure, is whether this lap will count for their soft tire mandatory one racing lap of soft tires. I think if I were the race director here or Dinosaur, I would say yes, it would, because I mean, look at how much of the lap they've raced on soft. It was green up to this point. So,
yeah. And technically, you could have a safety car every lap of the race, and so if that were to happen, I guess you would have to count one of them at least. There's nothing you can do if that's not the case.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I guess we'll see if some people have their racing softs and they decide to put on another set of racing softs. It seems like that'll tell us that it doesn't count.
Yeah. Anyone on softs is gonna pit here just because of tire wear.
Yeah, so Jacob will likely... he's got to pit anyway, but we'll see what tires he puts on, and we'll see if anyone stays out. Wogrizzle stays out, so Wogrizzle currently in first position, sitting on the mediums. And I think everyone else has decided to take a new set of tires or fix damage. So the only person... I think every car has damage. Oh my goodness. So Lamb King didn't have damage. We'll see if he switches to softs, but I think everyone literally had damage. All right, so Soul Shock comes out in 2nd place. We got Liu in 3rd, Luke Fubar in 4th place, Kip Dunkel in 5th. Little Jacob comes out in 6th place, Ali Bali in 7th. Lamb King switches to the mediums, so I think that does count. Let's take a look at Jacob. But yeah, so Jacob's on mediums as well, so little Jacob, likely that requirement that they did a full lap on the softs has been fulfilled.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because then they'll be able to split the remainder into 3 and 3 and do the 1-3-3 strategy you were mentioning earlier on. So, which should mean they would be driving at a much more conservative pace, both for fuel and tires. So maybe they won't be pushing all out, trying to fight for position so hard this time. Turn into more of a strategy race from here, but we'll see. Grizzle and Lou first and third right now. Both of these drivers really love the Nordschleife, and really hoping for a good result here. Looks like the green flag is flying once again here. Flag going to the inside of the chicane. Grizzle's able to defend it though.
And Luke Fubar takes advantage of Solshak going, oh no, I think I commentator cursed Luke Fubar there.
Yeah, it's difficult to take the inside line like that, have to take the corner so tight, and then you're doing the same thing on the exit, and you don't have nearly the traction when you have more steering in. He's on the curb, and then trying to keep it tight to the inside.
Yeah, it looks like we got some more GGs as well.
Yeah.
So this will be another safety car lap. To be honest, I think we actually might get safety car for every single one of these laps. We'll see. Solshak was able to get around Will Grizzle. Now they're currently fighting for position. And again, even though this lap will end in a VSC, we're a green flag until the back straight of Dottinger. I think it's actually pronounced like Dodinger. I don't know. I'm not German, so.
I'm certainly not gonna attempt to pronounce any corner names on the Nordschleife section, but this section of track very difficult, and Solshak drifting while they're onto the grass.
And look at that, Liu is already back. Wait, no, Liu is not the one who spun out, but. So Liu and Will Grizzle, it's a 1-2 for the Full Throttle Fajitas Toyota team.
Yeah.
And like you said, these two are fairly skilled at the Nürburgring 24-hour track. So their experience currently showing at the moment. So Solshak has damage, but Jacob has managed to stay clear of any damage so far. Knock on wood, no commentator's curse. D-Slov has picked up damage as well. So is Show Me. There must have been another incident that we missed at some point when we were looking at that first incident that involved some of these other cars, like Show Me.
Yeah, it seems like it didn't seem like any cars ended up hitting Luke when he was sideways. He was far enough on the inside. Cars were able to go around. Dinosaur's car wanted to go around there.
Vergold says the Green Hell is pleased with its feast so far. I would agree. There's a lot of red on these cars that are feeding
bumpers and wings and if some cars here, some drivers here are just going to, since they know it's going to be a VSC at the end of the lap, are just going to push as hard as they can and gain positions. Dinosaur here short shifting as if he would for a 3-lap stint. Oh, that was a risky pass by Cecil
Yeah,
on
that
the
was a
outside there.
risky pass, but that was excellent to keep it on track. Oops.
Yeah, I
That's
think
not
he
the right
had
one.
2 tires in the grass on the exit, but
I missed it.
little Jacob now in second place. Luke is having trouble with that car. It's a lot of damage on it. Currently experiencing not much grip there.
So Lou must have gone off at some point because Lou has damage on that back left. And I really hope these are kind of more self-inflicted damage and not like incidents. Otherwise, the stewards are going to be incredibly busy this week.
Yeah.
Little Jacob, though, doing extremely well. No damage on the car and chasing down Will Grizzle for that first place. And you can see that time difference, the gap tumbling down quite a bit. Just a moment ago, it was 5 seconds. And whoa, little Jacob there almost losing control of the car on the inside curb there just before the mini carousel. Keeping it together.
He doesn't have to push at this point because he knows he's going to be in second in the VSC, but still seeing what the car could do. Back marker up into 9th place.
Yeah, back marker doing extremely well for a debut. Coming from the Academy League. Managed to take the whole lap without any damage, but almost crashed into the back of Dinosaur there when he caught up to the safety car line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the danger of getting to the safety car pack after a very long straight.
Yeah. Let's see here. We've got our current. Okay, so this is interesting. Well, Grizzle now is on 2 lap old tires. I would imagine. Well, Grizzle would take a pit here potentially, or maybe not. We'll see. Yep, they decide to go into the pit. Little Jacob decides to stay out, and I think that's the right call for Little Jacob. Cecil also stays out. He's on the same strategy as Little Jacob. Same with Dinosaur as well. And then we got back marker racing. So anyone who pretty much went to switch to the mediums the last lap, and then now everyone else has decided to take a pit stop. And we'll see if anyone jumps onto the softs. Oh, and Lou decided to stay out. So Lou, despite being on 2 lap old tires, decides to split the strategy from his teammate, or Grizzle. So they were previously on the same strategy, and now Grizzle decided to take the pit stop, but Leo decides to stay out. So we'll see between the two of them which one ends up being a better call.
Yeah, the safety car is definitely mixing up the strategies. Drivers having to think, on their feet quite a bit here.
Ah, motor swap, you're right. Lou just fixed his car. He didn't take any fuel or tires. Okay. That makes sense.
I think at that point I would at least take new tires.
Yeah, I think it's always
fuel
worth
is-
taking new tires. I agree.
Fuel is the one that takes the most time.
Well, at least the sky looks clear, so we don't need to
Yeah.
add to the chaos. We don't need to make it any more difficult than it already is.
So Cecil stayed out this time around, so has one lap full of tires. Leading the field in the AMG.
All right, so we're underway. Cecil guns it down the, I think that's the Hatzenbach, or no, that's not Hatzenbach, that's the Advent Arch Street. Up through the chicane and entering the Nordschleife portion of the track.
Down the hill here, very fast right-hand corner. Just a lift there in group of cars. Full truck still with their hazards on, being extra cautious.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact between backmarker Reese and Lou.
That's gonna be another one, I think.
Oh no.
Not sure if backmarker understeered there or Lou just didn't know that they had a Ford GT on their inside and turned in the corner like they normally would. But either way, that's gonna be some damage on Lou's car for sure. If any of these drivers have a lower downforce setup to promote some overtaking on the back straight, I'm gonna feel really bad for them right now because they haven't been able to take advantage of it yet.
All right, so the sun is setting again. We are on a 16x, right? Time speed.
23, I think.
23. Okay, yeah, we're under 23. So well, yeah, so we'll actually cycle through the full 24 hours then, pretty much. I think it's particularly challenging at the start of the race when we go into green flag conditions because everyone takes a pit stop. A lot of people take new tires, and so your tires are cold. And cold tires in the Hassenbach section of the track is actually really tricky. And so I think we're more prone to having, incidents there after every restart, just simply because everyone's on cold tires and they've been just cruising for pretty much the whole GP section of the track. So.
Yeah, interestingly enough, though, I haven't seen a GG from either backmarker or Lou, so it's possible that Lou only got front damage and not the suspension.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
There we go. Yep.
Oh, and Bishop loses. Oh, no! Oh, my God.
I think he's got more than just front downforce now.
Lou has been cursed this lap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Bishop clips the... Oh, it just lost the rear.
Yeah.
Didn't even clip the grass. So
Yeah. There's
tried to
there's
correct
such
it one
little you
way.
can do to avoid a situation like that. It's just
Yeah.
so that'll for sure be a safety car.
Yeah, I just saw the second GG in there from Egypt, so
So Cecil has maintained the lead, um, and Dinosaur has dropped back a little bit actually. And we're Grizzle there losing a little bit of traction coming out from one of the 100 or so turns of the Nürburgring.
yeah.
They make their way around the carousel. Dinosaur is forced to take the wide line on the carousel, but maintains that position.
Yeah, very, very difficult to take that outside line and not go wide into the wall because it's such a difference in baking.
But overall, great racing between Wood Grizzle, Dinosaur, and Soulshock, keeping it very clean through that that section there.
Yeah, I think Dinosaur might be. Oh, that was a big wobble there for Dino. But I think Dinosaur might be trying to save the car, Ollie. Dinosaur might be trying to save enough fuel to jump people in the pit stop under safety car. So getting that safety car and then getting in the pits right after one another and not having to fuel as much will gain you a few positions.
Yeah, and it's certainly a very smart tactical move, considering the pit stop is something that's going to be happening quite a lot this race.
Yeah.
Luke Fubar there trying to find his way around Ollie, and the nature of the green hell being extremely difficult to pass. He's gonna have to be a little bit patient.
Yeah, there are not many places out in the Nordschleife, maybe 2 or 3 really good overtaking spots. And I wouldn't say that was one of them, honestly.
Oh, and Soulshock and Dinosaur go side by side through the Schwalbenschwanz.
Soulshock, that's his second move around the outside in a place that you don't normally see an overtake, so taking some risks there, but they've both paid off so far. Just before the straight when they've had to hold position, so just barely at the end of green flag.
The thing is though, like, is that risk worth, you know, like the position, given that they're gonna be in the pits and stuff? Like, is it really worth the one position that you're gonna gain? I mean, it might be actually, you know.
Maybe if you knew you had the same amount of fuel and you weren't gonna get jumped in the pits in a minute or so, but
it might matter. Yeah, I agree. I think it might matter more towards the top, you know, couple positions, like first, second, and third. Like if you can get clear of everyone, if you get clear of everyone and you're in the front and you know you can put in a solid lap without having to make mistakes, you know, and you're not having to deal with traffic. I mean, that's a huge deal, right? So it's an interesting game here because you're kind of caught in this game of like, should I pit or should I stay out? And then if you stay out, you also kind of put yourself at risk for being last in the next lap if you have to pit and few people do, but there's still a safety car. So it's like this really weird game where you kind of just got to stick to your strategy, your original strategy, I guess, in some ways. I don't know.
Grizzle not opting to pit, trying for a second lap on the soft tires. That's bold.
Yeah, that is very bold.
Dinosaur staying out, ending up jumping, well, everyone in front of him apart from O'Grizzle, so that move by Soul Shock, as impressive as it was, didn't end up panning out there.
Yeah, so here's the conundrum that Dinosaur faces, right? If by the end of this lap there is another safety car, even if he's in first place, he's still gonna have to take a pit stop. And there's gonna be people further down that have taken fuel and a new set of tires that can continue racing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if there was a VSC on lap 4, I think if I was Dyno here, I would get new medium tires, fill the car, and just be good for the end of the race.
Yeah, I think that's the call.
Given no incidents. That's the other big point, right? Because if given no incidents this lap, Dyno's going to be in first by the end of it, because O'Grizzle's just going to have no tires, no front tires.
Yeah. Well, I guess you would ideally want to be maybe next lap is the ideal lap, right? Because if you're pitting at the end of lap 4, you'll have lap 5, 6, and 7, right? Because you have 3 laps at most you can deal with on mediums. Yeah. So next lap would be the ideal lap, right? To fill up and then put on a new set of medium tires to go all the way to the end.
Yep. If you've done your soft tire stint already, which I think everyone probably has at this point.
But it's also, yeah, it's so tricky because at the same time, right? Like, let's say, for instance, we do get a safety car on lap 6, and then someone could put on softs to the end, for the end.
That's very true. I guess we're not getting a great start there. There's the outside line for turn 1 with the Nordschleife now.
Oh, they keep it clean though. That's good.
Oh, able to keep it around the outside. Yeah, so stays in second there. Nate for the weak. Ali in place. O'Grizzle at this point just driving away on those soft tires, but imagine using them up by doing so.
Oh, Luke Fubar does an over and under and gets the exit on Dinosaur. What a pass through Fluke Lots, I think that's his.
Yeah, that's this one right here, where cars are known to take off if the wind is the wrong way.
Yeah, great pass by Luke Fubar there. Oh, and Ollie Bali as well. Ollie Bali trying to keep it on track, gets a tire or 2 on the grass. Oh, and he's almost spins out. Oh my God. Teammates here trying not to take each other out for Mystic Maple's sake. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think that looked a bit more dramatic than it was on our end because of lag, but there was certainly a sideways moment in there with some lift-off oversteer in that car going around a high-speed corner like that.
Lamb King and Soul Shock side by side coming up towards Megget's field.
Both using a lot of the inside curve there. Very, very tall curve. Or is able to do it looks like.
Hey, welcome back.
The big engine, front engine, long distance between driver and front tires battle. I don't know how else to describe the Viper and the AMG. It seems like the hood goes on forever.
Yeah. The long boy, battle of the long boys. Yeah. So Overkill Syndrome is asking, howdy, I'm curious what's the basic theory on when to go for pit stops? I imagine the dilemma is early versus late. So we were just discussing this like a little bit a minute ago. It was like the medium tires last for, oh no, it's Soul Shock there, and then can make a little bit of contact. Let's see, none of them take damage, so that's good. So currently I think there's no VSC called for lap 4. Oh, and as I say that back, oh no, oh my god. D-Slove loses control, but only picks up front damage, so there won't be a VSC there, I don't think.
Yeah.
Back to your question, Overkill.
We haven't had a green
Josie.
flag pit stop yet, so it's difficult to answer the question, I guess. And I don't know if that's what you were getting at.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of been this game of like whether or not we're gonna get a green flag lap or not. And based off of what we've been seeing so far, it's likely that we won't. But there's still some pit strategy thinking involved here. So we were saying that it's strategic to pit this lap and fill up your fuel and your medium tires to go all the way to the end, and that would allow you to stay out when people have to pit. So that would give you track position. And if you're fast enough with the clean air and the traffic, or with no traffic ahead of you, it's probably beneficial for you to do that. But I was saying earlier that someone who's in second could potentially just put on a soft set of tires and be much quicker than you for the final lap, considering you're going to be on 3-lap old medium tires. So it's it's just kind of like it depends, right? It depends if there's going to be more laps with VSCs in this race or not.
Speaking of tires, I think these ones are gone. Yep, they're completely gone. Holly just flies past there as Will Grizzle just understeering into the grass. Bar will be passed as well before long, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
all over the curbs.
Well, Grizzle just needs to make it to the back straight, and then once they get to the safety car procedure, he'll lock in that third position, or second position, I should say.
Is there one this lap, or?
Oh, I guess I haven't confirmed it. Yeah, I guess there isn't one this lap so far. Yeah, there isn't one. Okay.
Yeah, so that will mean that Will Grizzle will drop pretty far back, I would think.
Yep, he will. Well, so this is an interesting opportunity though, because he's still going to pit and he's still going to put on those mediums and fill the tank up to go to the end of the race. So it actually might be beneficial for him as well, strategic-wise.
Yeah, there was contact between the two AMGs there, side by side around the last bend before this straight. Man King getting shuffled wide there into the grass, but actually, yeah, losing 4 positions because of that, so not going to be happy with their teammate.
All right, so we're Grizzle going to have to take this section with extreme caution. Oh, yeah, there you go. See, it's barely making the turn there at a crawling pace. So Luke Fubar decides to take a pit stop. Grizzle dives into the pits. Soul Shock decides to stay out. Oh, Soul Shock deciding to stay out on another lap on those racing soft. He's gonna run into the same issue as Will Grizzle did.
Well, Grizzle might be able to jump Luke in the pits though, because he came in with more than twice the amount of fuel. So despite that, yeah, he's got the tires done and he has more fuel. Yeah, it was 32 versus 15 or so, even though Luke had that small amount of gap
Oh, interesting. You didn't take the full
77.
tank.
Yeah. Maybe planning a one lap soft stint at the end then. Maybe didn't think that the mediums would last 3 laps. I mean the sun is gonna be rising here soon and track temperature's gonna go up, so maybe that was a factor. Ollie the only one not pitting this lap, I think. Shock had a bit of a wide moment there, but remaining in second place. Is Shock on medium at this point?
Solshark decided to stay out in softs.
No.
Yeah,
those
both.
are those don't have much grip left in them either, so
Yeah, Team Azul Racing right now is on the Ferrari strategist team right now. It's just,
yeah.
I think that was a poor call by them, but we'll see if they can make it work. They gotta really nurse those tires. Luckily, I was gonna say luckily they're not currently racing anyone, but I think Backmarker Racing is going to catch B-Ship up pretty quickly once those softs start dying off.
Yeah,
but,
1 lap old mediums versus 1 lap old softs is
yeah,
basically no contest there. Yes, love pushing back marker along there with front aero damage. See the effect of the aero damage there, back marker just driving away. Increased drag on that BMW. Every time I see the timer pop up, they go through a sector line and 55 seconds improvement. So
yeah.
funny. Then I remember, oh right, safety cars.
Yeah. And look at that, both Backmarker, and D-Slub are catching up to both the Azul cars.
Yeah, and bringing Kip Dunkel with him. Lose a bit behind from them, with these three catching the Azul cars fast. Oh my gosh. Solshock was very sideways when we cut back to them. This is where some team strategy might come into play. B-Ship might be able to hold them back for a bit while Solshock is crawling around on these very, very worn tires.
Yeah, at this point they might as well just like go side by side to the rest of for the rest of the track.
Yeah, exactly.
Just block everyone. I mean, is there like, there's got to be a rule against that, right? Like, you can't like block, if teammates decide to block the entire track like that, there's got to be like a rule like that in like the World Endurance Championship or like IMSA. I'm not familiar with the rules in the series, but like I would imagine that that's like illegal.
Right. Not a rule written in our rules yet, so we've had some crazy stuff in the past where drivers have pointed to the rule book and said it's not written.
Yeah, the mixed tile strategy, mixed tire strategy. All right,
Yeah.
Backmarker Racing decides to take the inside, going up into the carousel. Makes a nice, clean, and tidy pass on Bishop, and looks like D-Slub gets past as well.
Yeah, Bishop, those rare tires wearing just as quickly now. We're really gonna start to struggle. Full Shock having to break through that corner just to make sure he stays on the track.
Arms away, it says mixed tires were fun. I think that was the first like strategy ban that we ever had in LRC. Maybe first and only. Oh, and taking the outside there was quite a risky move. I was just about to say that, yeah, like he was at Soul Shock is at risk of understeering quite a bit, and I think taking the outside of Soul Shock in any corner is going to be very risky. And Backmarker there loses control of the car.
Yeah, I think he lost his rhythm a bit there, and he was definitely allowed to be there. He was fully alongside on the outside line, so yeah, it was just a case of Full Shock understeering, not being able to keep the inside.
And that's one of the things of like, I think that separates, you know, like good drivers from like extremely experienced drivers are the ones that can pick up these things, you know, like, oh, Soul Shock is understeering quite a bit and having trouble with the tires, and knowing that a pass on the outside like that is going to be extra risky.
Yeah.
And so
at the same time, we have much more information. We're not able as drivers to see the tire wear of someone else.
That's true, yeah.
It could be the case of them driving conservatively, or it could be the case of them literally having no tires to drive. So it's difficult there. First lap, second lap without safety car, and then no GG called. So
yeah, so Lou has picked up damage on that front left. Looks like their top speed is kind of maxing out, along with the Azul Racing cars with no tires. Yeah, this front, right and left, completely dead. Although Bishop has got a little bit of tire wear, a little bit of tires still on those fronts. So Bishop able still to
here.
Yeah. I think Soul Shock's gonna have a little bit more difficulty. Yeah. So interesting. Everyone has decided to take a pit stop.
Everyone had to, the tires.
Except for Grizzle. And Backmarker Racing decides to stay out, surprisingly, with damage.
With damage. Yeah. Well, I guess the way I see that is Backmarker didn't have enough fuel to just pit and fix the damage or get tires, so that might be a case of I don't want to pit 2 laps in a row.
Yeah.
And then for the last lap was planning to go on to softs anyway.
Yeah, that's true. If he's going to go on softs at the last stint, having this pit stop in the middle is just gonna kill the strategy.
Yeah, or take up more time at least. So Luke doing the same thing, it looks like.
I think Lou took a pit stop, but didn't fix the damage in the pit stop, in the pit lane, I think.
Oh, Luke or Luke? BMW?
Luke Fubar, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And maybe. Hope it wasn't a case of accidentally canceling any pit stop service.
All right, so let's go look through the grid. So D-Slove now in 5th position, Lou in 6th, we got Kip Dunkel in 7th. All separated within about a second or so from each other. Further back, we got Cecil Turtle, Dinosaur in 9th place. Dinosaur's got damage too. It looks like Dinosaur must have skipped the pits just as you were saying. Like maybe Dinosaur's gonna go for softs in the last stint. Soul Shock VR came out in 10th place. Bishop came out in 11th, so Bishop came out behind Soul Shock and took a little bit more fuel than Soul Shock did, but Bishop switched to the softs, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Yeah, if he was on the mediums right now, he'd be in a really good spot.
Yeah, but he's going to have to take another pit stop. I guess if he's going to go the 2 stops again with the softs, he might do all right. Because he did manage to go through and keep the softs alive over 2 laps, so maybe he'll do that again.
Most of it was at night, though.
That is true, yeah. Lamb King is in 12th, and then Show Me is in 13th. Alright, so the field is starting to spread out a little bit more, but Ollie now catching up to Backmarker Racing, and oh, there's a huge speed difference there, and oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah, that was a bit risky to go up the inside that late there, but yeah, like you said, there was a big speed difference. Probably having to do with the damage on
yeah. And that section in particular, I think it's the foxhole going up into that braking zone to the right-hander is like extremely tricky, even if you're just ever so slightly offline. So it's good that Ollie kept it under control there, and you can almost see him spin out towards the top of the hill there.
A lot of the cars carrying damage now. Love getting past his teammate.
Yeah, so D-Slove, it must have been a team orders thing since Luke Fubar had some damage, and it allows D-Slove to get by and potentially hunt down Backmarker Racing further up the grid. Oh, Kip Dunkel almost losing the car. Oh my goodness. The curbs there are extremely unsettling.
Yeah.
And all the curbs in the Nordschleife are just like extreme. Like they're very risky to take.
Yeah, Kip looks like he's in a good spot with strategy right now and just trying to push, but it's a risky place to push it all. The entire Nordschleife part.
Yeah.
Just most of the track. Looks
right,
like
so
all of that group happened.
oh my God, well, Grizzle there gets a little squirrely on the exit of the carousel. Ollie Bolly makes his way through. Ollie Bolly is on fire there. His pace is extremely quick.
Yeah. Looks like Grizzle went wide on the entry of the carousel and then had to keep the outside line because Ollie was suddenly on the inside, taking the normal racing line.
All right, so in terms of like strategy here, Ollie Bolly is set to go to the end, so Ollie Bolly is not going to take a pit. All right, is he set to go to the end? I think he's got enough fuel. He's got enough fuel, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much he decides to use here, but uh,
Yeah,
he could definitely go to the end. It depends on if he knows what everyone else's strategy is. If hard to tell.
yeah, it is hard to tell. And well, Grizzle looks like we'll have to take a little bit more fuel.
Yep.
So well, Grizzle might drop out of the top 5 even. Backmarker Racing needs to take another pit stop. Looks like Dieslov had potentially spun out there.
Yeah, just recovering the car.
Oh my goodness.
That's the corner I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's a really tricky one. It's very deceptive on entry. Makes you think you can go much faster through there than you can. Just before that jump.
Yeah, where the car suddenly feels very light and then you get a lot of understeer.
Yeah.
So Dieslov though is good to go to the end. So right now the effective the effective race order is Ollie's in first. Dieslov is in second at the moment.
Yep.
Lou needs to make another pit stop. Luke Fubar will likely have to make another pit stop. And then Kip Dunkel is good to the end. But I think at this point, Kip is going to be close, I think, with the pit difference between Ollie and Kip. I don't know if Ollie's going to come back out in front of Kip at this point because he's 38 seconds behind, and I think the pit delta is going to be somewhere like 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, if he does pit, I think Ollie is past the pit entry at this point, so will Grizzle miss the pit entry? I thought we were thinking that Will Grizzle had to pit.
Yeah, we did, so maybe
we're
Will
trying
Grizzle...
to go to the end.
Yeah. Ooh, we'll see if Will Grizzle will make it to the end. I don't think it will be possible, but Will Grizzle will try regardless. So we're on to the final lap 7 out of 7. As we mentioned earlier, the order is Ollie Bolly in first place, Will Grizzle in second, but asterisk there. Dieslov in third, Kip Dunkel in fourth, Solshock VR in fifth place. Backmarker Racing coming out of the pits, taking sixth position with a new set of racing softs and a quarter tank of gas.
There's quite a few cars that have a chance at that third place podium right now. Ship on the second lap on the soft tires, trying to make those tires last 2 laps again. Shock and Kip nearly going side by side through the Schumacher S of the EP circuit, both going wide off the circuit. Not sure if it was just the arrow on the track map wiggling side to side a bit, or if Ollie had a moment there, but certainly looked like it was a bit of a moment there for Solshock. That saved it. I think Ollie's okay.
Yeah, there's no damage on his car, so.
Third to sixth could all potentially end up in the podium spot here. Different strategies going on, different life and tire left in the car, different levels of fuel, whether they can push or not. back marker, a big example there, has enough fuel in the car where he's able to push on the one lap of softs. And some rear air in front of him there, so probably be able to catch up to these two pretty quick. A lot of understeer there. The front end of the car lifted up. You can just hear the tires squealing as they got back down to the ground.
That section there
doing the same with their rear axle.
Yeah, that section there right before the Armberg right-hander is just like so extremely tricky. Just like the other turn that we were talking about. Like that overcrest there lightens the car up a crazy amount. And all of a sudden the car has maybe a quarter of the grip it does going into it. And then making sure that you're going to be able to line up the car correctly for the braking zone is such a challenge. Let alone keeping it on the track and not getting a tire on the grass.
And then when you make it over the crest, the track levels out again. You suddenly get much more grip. So sometimes you'll find yourself steering too much, going off to the left there, just because you don't expect that much grip to return so suddenly. So it looks like there's still about the same amount of gap here between 4th and 5th as 2nd and 3rd. So Grizzle's still pushing on there. Yes, Love, I'd imagine, catching quite quickly. Oh, it's 10 seconds. Never mind, the track map was a bit funky there. Yeah, that is not much fuel at all for Grizzle to try and make the lap.
It's crazy because Grizzle, D-Slove, and Solshock all have incredibly low amounts of fuel.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
And maybe all three of them might actually run out of fuel on the back straight, because the back straight just like kills your fuel, right? Like you're at max revs for like, I don't know, like a full minute.
Yeah. That's very true. And they don't have a tailwind to help them. They got
That's true, yeah.
Quite a strong headwind up that hill. It's gonna be painful watching that fuel gauge when we get there. Luke about 10 seconds behind. First place, backmarker racing with what were new softs, I guess, when he pit. The pits were so long ago at this point. And then seconds in a bit, almost 4 seconds now behind him is the like. Through the carousel now. Ooh. And Lou sneaks through. So E-Ship falling out of the carousel there. Yeah, so Lou also, just like Backmarker, got a new set of soft tires and enough fuel. Doesn't look like enough fuel.
So Kip picked up some damage. Yeah, I mean, so Grizzle has saved quite a bit. D-Slove actually wasn't able to conserve as much as Grizzle throughout this final lap. So Grizzle, if they don't run out of fuel on the back straight, they're gonna be. Grizzle might be actually okay.
Yeah, so Ollie's on the back straight now. Flashing fuel meter as well. And Grizzle just heading around the bend there, so. Wow, this is gonna be.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be very close. DS Love still revving out the engine there, shifting at normal points.
Oh my God, there's like a dot left. There's like a pixel left on his fuel gauge.
Yeah.
They're probably fuel mapping 6 right now. Or maybe Dieslov's not even paying attention to the fuel amounts.
Yeah, I think DS Love sees what Grizzle in the distance there,
Oh,
getting
shoot,
closer and closer.
I missed Ali Bali's cross to the finish line. So Ali Bali with an amazing race. Insane amount of pace, crosses the line in first place. Congratulations to Ali Bali. Subbing in for Mystic Maple Racing. And Grizzle does make it. Oh, so he does make this final lap with that quarter tank of fuel just running on fumes. And Dieslov, I believe, has run out of fuel. Is crossing the line at 70 miles an hour. So Dieslov is able to make it, and Soulshock will make it as well.
And backmarker make it. Kip is right behind him.
So Soulshock comes over the line, and will they? I don't think backmarker. Yeah, backmark has just enough to make it over the line and run out of fuel. Luke Fubar crosses the line in 7th. Liu in 8th place. Bishop there spinning out towards the exit. Oh, he's having trouble.
Oh no, trying to get the car going on the last corner. Having to hold the brakes now almost. Not sure if the... Yep, he does.
No, loses that 9th place finish to Cecil Turtle.
Bishop probably understeered into the grass on that right-hander. Tried to get back onto the power, but
oh my God.
Oh no!
Dinosaur and Lamb King. I don't know if there was any contact ahead of that turn. I think they both just like went into the wall at the same time.
Yeah, there might have been a combination of understeering and Lamb King getting a whole bunch of slipstream down the back straight and having a bit of overspeed there. There was a smallest of bumps there.
Yeah, I don't think that was enough to actually cause the issue there, but it's really funny that they both ended up understeering into the wall there.
That was 11th and 12th, I believe, and then Romy just making it to the end of the straight there. We can make it to the finish line before the timer.
Yeah, I think he's got it. Oh no, just gets cut
It
right
was
off.
About a second before the finish line.
All right, let's go over the official results one more time. Oh man, I don't have enough. Okay, I don't have enough space for to save the replay. Let's take a look at the official results one more time. So Ali Bali takes the win at round 4 for Division 2, where Grizzle takes the 2nd spot and D Slov rounds the podium finish for Hoonigan Honeys Racing BMW. Soulshock VR in 4th place, Backmarker Racing in 5th. That's a great result for a debut at the league at the Nürburgring. So
yeah,
mega result by Backmarker Racing for Team.com. Kip Dunkel in 6th, Luke Fubar in 7th, Lou in 8th, Cecil Turtle in 9th, Bishop in 10th, Dinosaur finished in 11th place, Lamb King in 12th, Chomi in 13th, and we had a DNF. So I didn't even notice this, but yeah, DNF for Little Jacob. Little Jacob was actually doing pretty well in the race, and I can't remember at what point he dropped out. I just didn't even realize he did. So unfortunate situation there for Little Jacob, but that will conclude the Division 2 race. Toasty, any last words before you face the green hell?
I'm just gonna say really good job to Backmarker or top five on debut after the Academy race. That's a big jump from Group 4 Caymans to Group 3 around the Nordschleife is
Yeah,
insane, but managed to top five.
yeah, I completely agree. That was like a mega result for Backmark Racing and Team.com with like the absences in the few rounds prior. I think that was a great result for the team as well. So
Yeah.
good job, Backmarker. And with that being said, we'll um, we'll stop the broadcast and then we'll restart it again in preparation for the D1 race. So, Toasty, good luck with your race, and I wish the best of luck.
All right,
And
thank
with
you.
that, yeah, and with that, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.